Okay, you guys, I am so excited to introduce you to my friend Nicole. And thank you, Nicole, for coming here and sharing your story. I am so excited for you to tell them because it is quite a story and everything you've been through and how Plexus has helped along the way. So, anyway, I'm so excited to listen.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I'm okay. I'm not sure where to start. Should I focus on ease and nerve or
Or
go
start from
back
the
to where
beginning.
how I got here? That might be too long because that's a big story.
Well, I don't know. I think it's an amazing story, though. So if you're comfortable telling it, even a small bit of it, however you feel you want to tell it.
Okay. I wasn't, gosh, it's hard to think. Like I started taking Plexus. Luke was 4
Hmm.
and he's 12 now. Oh my gosh. It's been that long. So, but I think my story is a lot like everybody else's, where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, parenting from the couch. I'm asking Luke to bring me his toys to the couch because I physically can't get off of it. I can't sleep at night. Um, or I fall asleep and I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with complete anxious thoughts that just won't stop. Like it's almost like the clicking of a old fashioned projector in my mind. You can hear it like kicking on, and why everything I did was wrong and why I'm not good enough and blah, 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 blah. Anxiety just snowballs. And I was, uh, um, my son was at preschool with, um, other families, and we were all playing on the playground. And I heard somebody talking about Plexus because I was on my bed the night before, just basically crying out to God, like, please, God, help me. I can't do this anymore. I am so sick. I have heartburn from eating peanut butter and jelly. It doesn't matter. I throw up everything I eat. My throat was on fire all the time. It was terrible. I'm sure there's more. I just can't remember because it's been that long. But the next day, when we're on the playground and I hear someone talk about something, I just feel like my ears just got really big. And I was like, I think I'm supposed to hear this. I think I think I'm supposed to hear this. And I go straight over to the ladies talking. And I was like, I'm sorry, this is like way out of character for me, but I need to know what you're talking about right now because like I prayed about this last night and I think that I'm supposed to listen to you right now. And so that's how I got started. And I just my it was so good for me. It changed so many things for me that then my son, who had a bunch of health challenges too, and that's a whole nother story. But he had a lot of gut health issues. He couldn't. Turns out he couldn't eat gluten. He couldn't have dairy. He couldn't have artificial dyes. And when I really met Misty is because I learned that he needed to go gluten free, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And so I was like, you know what? I remember seeing that girl Misty. She posts about being gluten free all the time. You know what? She looks really nice. I'm just going to message her again, something I wouldn't normally do. And I just said, hi, you don't know me. I'm Nicole Bell. You probably see our post, but I have a big favor to ask you. And please don't think I'm weird, but like, can you help me know how to go gluten free? And she was like, yeah, and then she tried to start like telling me, and I'm like, no, no, no. I need you to just open your pantry and take pictures. And she goes, oh no, you don't want to see my pantry. I said, yes, I do, because a list isn't going to help me. I need to see labels. So when I go into the grocery store, I know what I'm looking for. And we've been good buds ever since, right? That's right. And I mean, Luke's health has changed, turned around completely around. He can eat gluten now. He can have dairy now, although he shouldn't. But he, if he had just, he would sneak things at birthday parties, and it would send him into a 2 week horrible sickness where he couldn't leave the bathroom. He couldn't go to school because he couldn't leave the bathroom. 2 weeks. That's gone. That is gone. And I did give him Triplex, all of it, when he was 4 years old. I just gave him like a third of the pink drink. I would open the BioCleanse and hide it in oatmeal. I would open the Pro 5 and put it in like juice or something so he can drink it before bed. Any way I could get it down him, I didn't care. And it did amazing things. It did amazing things for my whole family. So, and about a year ago, I had a really bad fall in front of my house. I don't know what happened. I was walking outside. I was too sick, but my friend was going to take my son to school. All I wanted to do was go out as a mom and see her face to face and say, "Good morning. Thank you so much for taking him to school. You guys have a good day." And I was going to go turn around and go back to bed. Except I lost all the feeling in my feet and I fell off the pavers outside of my house and about a foot off the ground. I don't know if I passed out. I don't know. And I was, next thing I know, I was sprawled out on the sidewalk and my leg was going one way and my ankle was going a complete other way. And I freaked out. Freaked out. I fractured it in 3 spots. What else did I do? I jacked up a tendon and I did something else. It was all bad. And I had to have surgery to get everything back together. And that meant heavy pain meds like Norco, and what else did they give me? Oh my goodness. I mean, and I was so out of it from medication and I couldn't even really take care of myself. I was out of it. I had to move into my sister's house and she was helping take care of me and my son. And during that time, I wasn't taking my Triplex because I didn't know how. They had me on such a medication regimen that I didn't know how to get it in. And I was, like I said, out of it most of the time. And they didn't tell me that those things will constipate you very badly. Well, let me tell you, they did. And because I wasn't taking BioCleanse, it was a problem. And I remember finally getting to a point where I was well enough where I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how to get my Plexus back in me, like right now. And I would take my walker to the best of my ability just to get to the counter and make myself a pink drink. And I don't know. I didn't know how to do my Triplex with all the drugs they were giving me because gosh darn it. So, but they were wanting to give me stool softeners and give me stuff for, nausea because the Norco was making me nauseous. And I mean, they didn't tell me. I ended up going through withdrawals. It was, oh my gosh, so bad. But when I got myself well enough to get home and I got myself back on my Plexus, things started getting so much better, so much better. And my surgeon even told me that when she went to put like all the bones back together in surgery, she said there was a chunk of bone or a chunk of cartilage stuck to a little bone fragment that she couldn't get off. So, I mean, I'm not technical, I'm not a surgeon, but she just said, I couldn't get it back there. So you will develop arthritis, later down that line. And I was like, don't you speak that over me. I do not accept that. I do not, what was the word I was thinking of? Like, I was like, I'm losing the word, but like, I refute that in the name of Jesus. I'm not taking that. And I was like thinking, what can I do? And I was like, oh my gosh, ease and nerve. Because, well, I started with the ease just to because I was not taking Tylenol and ibuprofen anymore. I was like, no more. I'm going to eat a hole in my stomach. This is so bad. So um, I started taking that like every day, and I couldn't really afford to take like huge doses. So I was taking like, I think just two of each a day. And I ran out. So when I ran out, it was like each day the pain would get worse and worse and worse. Like when I would put my foot up on the couch, like just the footrest, I was wincing in pain and I kept having to move it around. And same thing when I was in bed, I couldn't even lay my ankle down on my soft mattress, soft sheets. Like it hurt so bad. I was not sleeping and just kept waking up just in agonizing pain. And I was like, well, I think I know what the problem is. I need to get that ease and nerve back right now because I couldn't even walk up the driveway. I was having to go sideways and hold on to the car, the parked car in the driveway just to get up. And so I ordered more Plexus ease and nerve, and the pain is gone again. It's, I'm walking around just fine. I do need a compression sock and I do still do physical therapy, but without the ease and nerve, I can't do any of it. I don't know. I Most people think I'm crazy, but I know you guys won't.
I was just trying to unmute myself.
So,
That's amazing. And tell us how many E's and nerve you take.
so right now I keep them on my nightstand and I take two E's and two nerve together every morning when I get up. I would like to take more, but I can't afford to do that right now. So I just do what I can do.
Mhm.
I think it would be better if I could take more. So I just have to realign things and figure out how to make that happen. But this is a good baseline. It could be better though. But I did notice though, I tried taking ease by itself and it didn't do it for me, but I have a lot of nerve issues too from the surgery. So that could be why. Um, but it needs to be both of them for me together. That just something magical happens when you put them together.
You know what? I have to agree with that because I started taking it for my knee because it has been super bothering me. Back in 2005, I was hit by a car. And the doctors finally got around to really fixing the meniscus, and they fixed that and they said, oh, we had to do surgery. So they did all of the scraping. So basically my knees on bone, and it every time this weather changes and any moisture, it kills me. And I'd sit for like 10, 15 minutes and get up. You try to walk, and it's like, oh my goodness. And I have been taking mine. I do mine at nighttime. And because I get almost like a restless leg syndrome because I'm so active during the day and it's throbbing that I most definitely, that's where I take it at night. And that is so helpful. And it carries me through until about, around this time, about 5:30ish, 6 o'clock, then I can start feel the tightening of it. But, I was just going to ask, better during the day for you to be able to do that, and it carries you through the night, or?
Well, I think, and I love to hear that too, because that's the cool thing about Plexus, because you know, different people have to do it different ways, and it's so good. The reason I've been taking it in the morning is because that's when I'm active and having to walk around and do all my things. And so I kind of thought that would help me get through the day. And it's been great. I haven't tried at night, but um, I'm I'm wondering. I could definitely try it.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I was thinking about switching it up and doing it during the day, but then that means switching it from my nightstand to bringing it to the front where I take
Yeah.
like, my vitamin D and, I have the X Factor and all that by the coffee pot. And I was like, at this point with, everything, all the craziness going on because it's summer, I was like, let's make it less complicated. But I know that most definitely for nighttime, that one especially, that hurts. But I'm going to increase my nerve one. I didn't realize I've been taking 2 E's and just one nerve. So I really, and that might help me carry through a lot longer, because I am very active during the day taking care of people.
Yeah.
Well, it's so interesting how it can be different for everyone, but also good to note that if somebody is taking Ease and they're telling us that it's not working, it might be good to have them take the combination of Ease and Nerve. That's super good to know. I'm just going to end the recording right now, and then we're going to just have a little bit more time to ask questions.